Let me tell you all about widgets. Widgets are those small but mighty features you see on great websites. I'm talking Google reviews that update automatically, weather displays, accessibility tools, trust badges, the little details that add real value and bring a website to life. Maybe you've always wanted them but didn't know where to start. Maybe it took too much time and effort. Until now. Introducing Jotform website widgets, a free collection of over 150 embeddable website components you can customize and publish without knowing a lick of code. Pick a widget, make it yours, copy the embed code, done. Now your site has live Google and Facebook reviews, a social feed, Trustpilot badge, a real-time visitor counter, whatever you need, in minutes, not days. And it works on any website. This is for every small business owner, marketer, and website creator who's been putting off those small but meaningful upgrades because it wasn't worth the hassle. Now it is. Your website's been waiting for this. Next, I'm going to kick things over to Kimberly from our product marketing team to run through how to get started. Kimberly, show them how easy it is.
Thanks, Chad. Hey everyone, I'm Kimberly, and it's officially time to jump into our demo of website widgets. Now, as you can see, I'm currently in the desktop version of my dashboard. And if this is your first time creating a website widget, you're going to go on the top left-hand corner. We're going to choose to create. We'll choose website widget. And we're taken to our website widget landing page. And from here, you can see that we are sorted by popular. So if there's a specific widget that you are looking for or you would like to use, definitely use the search widget function. Today, we are going to be talking about 3 different widgets. The first one is going to be Google reviews. So let's go ahead and jump in to use widget for Google reviews. Now, if you are familiar with Jotform, this is going to look very similar to our form builder. You can see we land in that build tab, and you can see what that widget is going to look like. Now, one of the great things about this on all of these widgets is there's already data implied. So you can see what this is going to look like without adding in your own information. Now, of course, if you want to see your specific reviews, you're going to want to make sure to enter in either your business name or your Google Maps link. And from here, we have access over in the widget properties to really make this fit us and our brand. So we can see up at the top, it says our happy clients. If we want to turn that off, we absolutely can. If we want, we can change what that says. We can even turn off and on that header. So that top part where it says Google reviews and share your feedback, we can turn that off. Also in the style tab, you'll see in a minute, if you would prefer to not have the share your feedback out in the open, maybe you only want that to be shared with the people who have actually done business with you, you can go ahead and turn that off in the style tab, which we'll look at in just a second. But if you want, you can turn off that title right there. Lots of different things that you can do. You can choose the ratings, the number of reviews, the name, the photo. Maybe you don't want those visible. You have complete access to that. Next, under the style tab, if we prefer a dark theme, maybe our website is a dark theme, we can do that. And again, here is that call to action button. So if you prefer to not have that button there, you can go ahead and turn that off. We have access to change the color, turn off the branding, and you know Jotform, we are no code, but if there is something very specific that you want to edit or make changes to with your widget, we do allow custom CSS. Then with our layout, we can choose what that looks like. So now you see we have card type format or the carousel, but if you want it to be a slider, so one testimonial at a time, you can do that. We can have that be a badge down in the corner, or maybe we want it to be a grid style. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as the grid style just for this example. Then from here, we're pretty much done making this fit how we want it to look. So I'm going to come up to settings, and here is where we can see the name of our widget. Now this is just going to change the name right up here at the top, but we want to make sure that the widget is enabled. Now, of course, as you're creating a new widget, it's going to be enabled automatically. So in the future, if you decide to disable it, you'll want to come back here to enable. But all we have to do is come here to publish, and you can see very simple options. On the left, we have embed, and then we have third-party platforms. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this code. If we choose third-party platforms, if you're using one of these specific ones, it's just going to give you step-by-step instructions. So I have already copied my embed code. I'm going to go ahead and jump over, and I am going to be using Wix for this example. But again, you can use this on any platform as long as you have the embed code option. It's going to work exactly the same. So I'm going to go ahead and add a section right up here at the top. Perfect. I'm going to go over here to add element. We'll do embed code, embed HTML. I'm going to go ahead and paste in that code and update. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this kind of fit this area. Perfect. All right, and there we go. And of course, we can drag this down as far as we need to. Perfect. And there are our happy clients, our Google reviews. All right, perfect. I'm going to come back over. Let's go ahead. I'm going to come back to the very beginning. Another one I want to show you is the weather widget. So I'm going to go ahead and create a website widget. And we have this one right up here at the top. Let's go ahead and use this widget. And you'll see as you start building widgets, all of these are going to look very similar where you land in the build tab, you have the widget properties, general style and layout, and you have, again, access to edit what those look like. So we have a specific location, or if you want to turn it to a visitor location, you can absolutely do that. Right here we have the city, zip, or coordinates. Right now it's set for New York. If you want a custom location name, maybe it is, you saw it was a hotel website, maybe you want it to be our hotel's name, we can do that. We can change the temperature unit to Fahrenheit or Celsius. Lots of different things that we can change through. Perfect. We have a detailed forecast, or maybe we want it to be something different. Again, you have complete control over how that looks. If we want square, rounded, circular, you want to turn off the Jotform branding, completely up to you. Perfect. And we can also change that card width as well. Do you want it to be super skinny? Do you want it to be a little bit wider? And then do you want this to display on desktop only, mobile, or all? You have that choice. So again, settings, you can see we have the name change, making sure it's enabled, then publish. We'll come over here to copy code. Let's come back over here. I'm just going to go ahead and go on top of this. I'm just going to edit this code instead of adding a new one. We'll do update. Perfect. And here is our weather, and we can make this fit, of course. Perfect. All right, let's do one more. I'm going to go back and we are going to do one more. Let's do create website widget. Another popular one is going to be the resume or the CV, and this is going to display your resume. Let's go ahead and use the widget. Now, one thing that is really great about this, of course, again, is it already has data in there, so you can see what it's going to look like. But you can either create your resume from within here, or if you have a PDF version of your resume, you can easily generate all of this from a PDF, which is what this was done from. But if we come over to the style and the layout, we have the same types of information as before. But if I come back over here, we have the ability to turn off and on all of these sections or edit all of these sections, right? So here, all of these skills is going to be right up here. So if we come down here to this drop down, we can choose what that skill is and what is our level. Are we an expert? Are we intermediate? We get to choose what that looks like. We have our work experience right down here. You can add in all of this. You can even add in some projects, including achievements. And then right down here, if you would prefer for some of these not to be shown, so let's say I don't want the skills shown, you can easily turn on and off depending on your need. So let's go ahead. We can even turn off that contact button if for any reason we don't want someone to contact us through our resume, through our website widget. You can absolutely do that. But again, if we jump over to style, if we want to change it to dark, we can do that. If we want it to be more squared off, we can do that. Maybe we don't want that shadow appearing, we can do that. And then layout, you can change the page size. So normally as we have A4, maybe we want it to be classic. Look at that. Now it's kind of broken off into card types. Then we have timeline version. Again, you have control over what this looks like. We can even do a couple of columns depending as well. We have the section spacing, lots of different options. So let's go ahead and come up here to publish. We'll do copy code, come back over to our website, edit that code, and then update. All right, and there is our resume. And of course, we can drag this down so that way the resume fits 100% into that area. But it really is as simple as that. Now, I'm actually going to jump over here. This is one of our landing pages for website widgets. So you can see right now our most popular widgets are going to be a utility, review, and social. But if you have something very specific you're looking for, dive into one of these categories so that way you can see what options there are as a website widget for your website. All right, that is all I wanted to show you. Very simple, as you can see, but I know that our team has been answering questions over in the Q&A. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few of our top Q&A. Okay, it looks like we do have a few questions that have came in that I definitely want to touch on. The first one is, will these widgets work with websites built on Wix as well as on Google Sites? So you saw that I just did this whole demo in Wix, so you know that it works in Wix. But if you have a website that is going to allow you to embed code or have like an HTML section, you can absolutely add these widgets in. That includes WordPress, Shopify, anything like that. If there is a section where you can add in custom code, you can absolutely use Jotform website widgets. All right, specifically wondering if I can make a pop-up widget that will be used to ask users about feedback on a website. Yes, so once you go to create a brand new website widget, in the search bar, just type in the word pop-up and it'll show you widgets that are already coded to be pop-ups. Now, I'm pretty sure feedback widget is one of those that's on that list. However, for example, in Wix, we do have the ability to choose Lightbox. So if you on your website have the ability to add in your own pop-up, you can embed the widget within that pop-up. So even if you go through and you search for pop-up and what you're looking for isn't under pop-up, it's possible that you could still do it within your website and not from within Jotform. Let's see, is it possible to add the widgets to a website if we have a free Jotform account? Absolutely. These widgets are available on any plan. Absolutely, you sure can. How do we create widgets for FAQ on my website? When you go to create a brand new website widget, just in the top search button, just type in FAQ and it's going to give you an FAQ widget. You just put in your frequently asked questions and the answers and you'll be good to go. So yes, there is definitely one for FAQ. Can we customize this feature so we can tailor it to our business? Yes, absolutely. So one of the great things about Jotform is it's no code. So you're not going to be having to code it to look like your website. However, if there are things that are outside of the limits, you can absolutely use custom CSS to make it look more like your brand if it's not up to your liking. Absolutely. And if you need support with that, just contact our support team. They can definitely help you with that type of coding help. Does the widget post automatically to your website without you going into the backend to post? So once you create the widget, it's not going to be on your website until you physically go to the Publish tab, copy that code, and put it on your website where you want it to be. Now, once it's on your website, if you make any changes in Jotform, maybe verbiage or colors or anything like that, you don't have to go back into your website and republish. That is already live. It's already updated for you. So that way you can make the change in Jotform and you don't have to worry about your website. Looks like the last one. At what tier are these available? And does each widget count towards my active form limit? So like I mentioned, these are available on every single tier from free all the way up to enterprise. And as of right now, there are no limits. So you can have as many uses as you want on these widgets, which is really, really nice. And that is all of the questions that came through. So if there's anything that maybe we didn't get to or we didn't touch on that you still have questions about, definitely get in contact with our support team. It's at jotform.com/contact. You can put in a ticket and they'll get back with you within an hour for most cases. So I hope this helps, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.